Hello children, today we are going to study the class 10 biology first chapter, that is life processes. As you know, in your previous classes you learned that the living organisms need food, they respire and they transport the substances, they excrete all those things. So in this chapter we will learn about how the living organisms are made these life processes. In these life processes, as you know, on the earth, there are the things which we classified into living and non-living. Living means which can grow, which can do their work and do their metabolic activities. Those are the living. For example, plants, animals are the living things. Non-living means which cannot grow, which cannot do their works are called non-living things. For example, table, pen, mountain, these are all non-living things. They don't want any food, they don't want any life process. So, the life processes is not a simple chapter. It has we classified into four parts. The life processes means the metabolic activities, whatever is taking place in the living organisms are called the life processes. These life processes we classified into nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. Today we are going to study about nutrition. At the end of this nutrition, we will able to define what is life process. We can define the autotrophic nutrition, explain the process of photosynthesis, illustrate the importance of the chlorophyll through the experiment and illustrate the importance of carbon dioxide through the experiment and also illustrate the importance of sunlight through the experiment. So, first of all, we will start the introduction of the nutrition. As you know, the things around us can be classified into living and non-living. Living organisms have their own cellular organization, and these cellular organization means what is the basics of this cellular organization? Cell is the basis of this cellular organization. So, cell is the basic unit of all living organisms. Each cell is made up of molecules. These molecules exhibit movement during cellular reactions. Such reactions leads to cellular life activity. All living organisms need energy for growth, development, and maintenance. The process that helps to carry out the metabolic activities of living organisms are called life processes. So, as we study, there are many types of life processes are there. In that, we are going to study in detail about nutrition. Nutrition. Nutrition is the process of obtaining energy from food, and the nutrients are the substances that gives us nourishment. These nutrients helps in synthesizing a variety of substances like proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, etc. So, This nutrition, if we will see, nutrition means obtaining the food. Here the question is all the living organisms are able to make their own food? No, only few living organisms are able to make their own food. And some other organisms, they depend on the organisms for its food. That's why this nutrition, the modes of nutrition. Basing on the mode of nutrition, we classified into organisms into autotrophs, heterotrophs. And autotrophs are the examples of plants and some bacteria. These plants and some bacteria have a green pigment called the chlorophyll to help to synthesize their own food. Whereas some fungi and other animals, they cannot make their own food. They are called heterotrophs. They depend on other organisms for their food. Now, based on the mode of nutrition, then the organisms we classified into autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophic nutrition. Here, the term auto, autotroph is derived from the Greek word, two Greek words. Auto means self. Trophy means nutrition. Auto means the self and trophy means nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, organisms make their own food by taking a simple raw material. So, the simple raw materials, what are those simple raw materials we will study? So, this preparation of their own food is called what? Photosynthesis. Green plants, which are autotrophs, synthesize their own food through the process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants utilize the solar energy in presence of chlorophyll pigments to convert the water and carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. This is the equation for the photosynthesis. In this photosynthesis, what they are doing? They are taking the carbon dioxide and water in presence of solar energy. They are preparing the food called the glucose and releasing the oxygen and the water. See, here, this is the process of photosynthesis. In this process of photosynthesis, you can see that the sunlight, what are the raw materials they are using? They are using the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and water and minerals from the leaves, from the roots. Through the roots, the water and minerals goes to the leaves in presence of the sunlight. These are the raw materials required. And here the plant have the green color leaves. The leaves are green in color. The green color leaves contain the chloroplast. This chloroplast has a chlorophyll pigment as we studied before. This chlorophyll pigments has a capacity to trap the solar energy and prepare the food. That process is called photosynthesis. When the food is prepared, what they are giving out? Oxygen they are giving out. Along with the food, they are giving out oxygen. So, now, what are the basic raw materials for the photosynthesis? Once we will see. The photosynthesis required the chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water and sunlight as we have seen in our previous slide. So, what are these carbon dioxide? How these raw materials are utilized and from which part the raw materials are taken, we will see. First, carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide. So, to prepare the autotrophs, to prepare the food, they need some raw materials. What they need? Raw materials. Those are what? Carbon dioxide, water, and in presence of sunlight. And also the plants have the green pigment called chlorophyll. So, carbon dioxide. First raw material is the carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide the plants are taking from the atmosphere, and this carbon dioxide enter into the leaf through a tiny pores on the leaf. Those are called stomata. This carbon dioxide then diffuses into the cell organelle. That organelle, whatever is present in the leaf, that is, give the green color, is called the chloroplast, and which carry out the photosynthesis. Second raw material is the water. Water from the soil enters into the leaf from the roots and reaches to the chloroplast. Sunlight. Sunlight from the atmosphere is trapped by the green pigments present in the chloroplast. Next, the stomata. Here, the stomata also play very important role during the photosynthesis. The stomata. What is the stomata? Where it is present? It is, if you will see the leaf has a small spore-like structures will be present. These are called the stomata. The small pores which are present on the leaf are called stomata. This stomata, it have two, if you will see the stomata, it has two kidney shaped cells. These kidney shaped cells are called guard cells. When the stomata open, the water from the leaves diffuses out by the process of transpiration. So to prevent it, the stomata only opens when the plant need carbon dioxide. You can see here. See, this is the leaf in a plant. This is the leaf. The leaf have the stomata. These are all the stomata. And see, what it is doing? They are taking the carbon dioxide and from the atmosphere, as we have seen in the previous slide, they are taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and water and minerals from the roots of the plant. So, as we studied, when the stomata is open, what is happening? The water from the leaf is going out. That's why whenever it is required, at the time only the stomata will open so that the carbon dioxide can enter inside for the process of photosynthesis. Otherwise, the stomata will be in the closed state. And see, you can observe how the stomata play here. What is the role of the stomata? Here you can observe. See how the water is entering inside, and when the water is enter inside, the guard cells become swelling. When it swells, turgid we will say, it open the pore. This opening of the pore is called opening of the stomatal pore. Due to this, the water is going out. This process is called transpiration. When the transpiration is taking place, again the water in the stomata will be complete. When it will complete, it will close the pore. So this is called opening and closing of stomata. See, whenever the water is entering, it is opening the stomata and the pore is opening due to the water is accumulated in the guard cells. This is called the opening of the stomata. Then the carbon dioxide will enter inside the stomata. And when it opens, what is happening? The water is coming outside. When it is coming outside, the stomach guard cells become flaccid and it is closing the pore. This is called water opening and closing of a stomata. Next, as we study the leaf, if we will see, the leaf contains the green colored part is called the chloroplast. This is the transfer section of the leaf. You might have seen here the guard cells. How is the guard cells? The stomata are present. This is the lower side of the leaf. And this is the cross section of the leaf, internal structure of the leaf. The leaf contains upper epidermis, then the cells which are long, elongated, without intercellular space. Those are called palisade, and palisade cells. And the cells which are present in the leaf is called the mesophyll cells. And you might have seen it has some dotted structures. Those dotted structures are called chloroplast. This is the chloroplast. And this chloroplast has some inside green color pigments will be present. Those green color pigments are called chlorophyll pigments. Even the water, the leaf has as you studied in your ninth class, that is the vascular bundles. In the vascular bundles, the xylem and phloem, the xylem helpful to conduct water. It helps to bring the water to the leaf. It's helpful for the process of photosynthesis, and the phloem, which will be due to these sun rays and carbon dioxide and raw materials, whatever you use, the leaf is preparing the food. That food is stored in the phloem, and from the phloem it transports to all parts of the plant body. So, opening and closing of stomata play very important role in the photosynthesis. When the water enters into the guard cells make the opening of the stomata. When there is no water in the guard cells, the pores close is called closing of a stomata. And what is the role of the chloroplast? In previous slide, we have seen the chloroplast. What is the role of the chloroplast? As you have seen, the chloroplast is a double membranous structure, and inside the membrane you have seen a stack-like structures. These are called grana. It is made up of, and a complete stack, single is called the grana and the complete is called a plural granum, we will say. This is made up of a specialized membrane called thylakoid membrane. This thylakoid membrane have a green color pigment called chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, which has a capacity to trap the solar energy, and when it will absorb the solar energy, it converts it into the chemical energy. And see here. And next, the chloroplast is a double membranous, as you have seen. It is a oval in shape and it is one of the organelle of the leaf, and it is the main site for photosynthesis. Inside the chloroplast, if you will see, as I have shown you the picture, it consists of many stack-like structures. Those are called water thylakoid membranes, called the grana, and it is the, and another part of it is a colorless fluid will also present. The colorless fluid is called what? Stroma. The colorless fluid is called stroma, we will say. Next, grana. What is the main function of the grana? Grana is made up of thylakoid membrane and which contains the pigments called chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, which has a capacity to trap the solar energy. What is the mechanism of photosynthesis? How the photosynthesis is taking. The photosynthesis, if you will see, it is of two processes. One is photosynthesis occur in two phases. First one is called light phase and second one is called dark phase. Light phase means light independent and dark means light phase is light dependent. Sorry, light dependent means in the presence of light it will take. Dark phase means light independent means it does not require light. So now you see the photosynthesis occur in two phases, light dependent phase and light independent phase. Light dependent phase, also called what? Light reaction. It takes place in thylakoids of the chloroplast. Light phase, what will happen? The energy is carried by photosynthesis in the form of ATP. ATP has adenosine triphosphate. Three phosphate groups are there. And this three triphosphate, when the energy will be utilized, it breaks one of the terminal phosphate and become ADP, means adenosine diphosphate. Again, this ADP join with the energy to form a ADP. And one more energy, assimilatory power is the NADP. This NADP is called nicotinamide dinucleotide phosphate. It is an electron carrier. So, the mechanism of photosynthesis. As you know, the photosynthesis is occur in the two phases, light phase and dark phase we studied. And the light phase is a light dependent phase. The light, whatever is there, this light, this is in the chloroplast as we studied, this is the grana region, granum made up of the thylakoid membranes. They will trap the solar energy. When they will trap the solar energy, what will happen? Whatever the water from the leaf is absorbed through the leaf, through the midvein of the leaf, it reaches to the organelle called the chloroplast, and that water is split in presence of the sunlight in the grana region. When it split, what is happening? It produces some assimilatory powers, that is ATP and NADP. So ATP, as you study the adenosine triphosphate, and NADP is a nicotinamide diphosphate, and these are the assimilatory powers. Whatever the energy is produced here, that energy, it is the electron carrier. NADP is a electron carrier. It converts into NADPH. This NADPH takes that hydrogen ion to the stroma region. Already the carbon dioxide from the stomata is goes and reaches to the stroma region. So up to this phase is called the light phase. The formation of energy is up to the light phase. But here the food is not prepared. Whereas in the dark phase, light independent phase, it does not require the light, but whatever the energy in the form of ATP and the electron carrier, the NADP, it is carrying the hydrogen to the stroma region. There, the reduction of carbon into carbohydrates will be taking place. So, we will observe, see what is happening, the dark reaction. Before we are going to the light reaction, see the light reaction, as the name is given to the light reaction, it takes place in the presence of light. Using the energy on the thylakoid, the water splits to release the oxygen. The chlorophyll in chloroplast excites an electron. This electron converts the light energy into chemical energy. Is moved in the form of ATP and NADPH. The light reaction produces energy but not food. Next, dark reaction. In stroma, the chloroplast by reducing the carbon dioxide to carbohydrate takes place by utilizing the energy from the ATP and NADPH in the absence of sunlight. By the end of the dark reaction, plants prepare the glucose. This glucose is stored in the form of a complex substance called the starch. This is overall the process of photosynthesis is taking place. What are the factors affecting the photosynthesis? The factors are external factors and internal factors. So, for the photosynthesis, there are two factors are there. Factors affecting photosynthesis. External factors, internal factors. External factors are, what are the external factors? For us, whatever we are getting from the outside, that is carbon dioxide, water, are the external factors. Internal factors are the chlorophyll, chloroplast, chlorophyll. These are the internal factors. So, then the intensity of the light, carbon dioxide, the concentration, carbon dioxide concentration, and the temperature, water are the main external factors which are influencing the photosynthesis. The internal factors are those are influenced in the photosynthesis are only the chlorophyll pigments. The content of the chlorophyll pigments, if it will be more in the leaf, the photosynthesis will be more. With this, we are concluded the complete our autotrophic mode of nutrition. Thank you.